President Trump spent 4 years in office distinguishing himself as the most anti-union president of the last 3 decades.
The man stands against everything that working class people stand for, that organized labor stands for.
When Donald Trump was president of the United States, his Labor Department prevented 8.2 million workers from receiving overtime pay by lowering the overtime threshold that the Obama administration established.
When you look at the two candidates on our end, Joe Biden has a history of betting on the American worker, standing with the American worker, just as he did in our strike this year. When Donald Trump was president, GM was on strike for 40 days. Donald Trump was AWOL. He never said a word, never did a thing.
He appointed Eugene Scalia, one of the nation's top anti-union lawyers, to be his Secretary of Labor.
This is a guy who built his career representing unscrupulous employers while fighting against worker health and safety protections, retirement security, and collective bargaining rights.
Under Trump's administration, the National Labor Relations Board implemented sweeping new rules that made it harder for workers to form unions.
Trump appointed a notorious union buster, Peter Robb, as the general counsel of the National Labor Relations Board.
Trump packed the courts with anti-labor judges, people like Thomas Farr, who spent his career bringing cases before the courts to weaken unions. President Trump made it harder for workers to earn overtime, and he gutted the federal agency in charge of workplace safety.
Trump's NLRB quickly moved on every item on the U.S. Chamber of Commerce's top 10 corporate interest wish list, including making it far more difficult for workers and union organizers to communicate, giving employers the ability to gerrymander union elections by dictating bargaining units, allowing employers to fire workers in retaliation for union activity, obstructing workers' right to fair union elections by adopting union election rules that put roadblocks in the process, and limiting worker coverage under the law by allowing worker misclassification and limiting employer liability through joint employer rulemaking.
When it comes to organized labor, I can't fathom any union would ever stand for Donald Trump.